early morning riser, aka turkey, or evening person, aka night owl. So it's the turkeys versus the owls. I'm going to put you to the ultimate test to figure this out. Hey guys, it's Hafsa Slayman and you're listening to Confessions of a Doctorholic. If you missed last episode, I spoke about successful people and waking up early in the morning. And I reckon you can be successful no matter what time of the day you wake up. And I also left a questionnaire for you to help you figure out if you're a morning or an evening person. Here's the thing though. Whether you're a morning or evening person, sometimes if your job isn't flexible or if you have morning commitments like taking kids to school or classes that you need to attend as part of uni or school, or even like work that you have to commute to rock up on time, then you may be forced to wake up early in the morning. So I thought, let's talk about this. How do we make this study and these questions and you being a morning or an evening person work for you? So last night I put a poll on the gram. I just wanted to see how many of my followers were morning people or night owls. And interestingly, so many of the people who replied are night owls. So here's a thought. Are you actually an owl, or are you a person who is productive at night, or are you a sleep procrastinator? Have a think about it. So look, as I mentioned last episode, I'm a definite morning person, but I'm also a sleep procrastinator. And it's actually fairly common. So if you're a person that's usually distracted by your phone or computers, or let's face it, Netflix, and chilling, like me marathoning through Love is Blind, then the chances that you're a sleep procrastinator is quite high. So some more questions for you, also from the Sleep Foundation. Are you being creative at night? Do you feel fine whatever time you wake up, as long as you've had 7 to 8 hours of sleep? Or do you fall asleep if you don't use your phone? So if your answer to this is no, yes. So like you're not creative at night and you're fine if you sleep 7 to 8 hours and you fall asleep if you're not using your phone, then the chances are high that you're a sleep procrastinator. And here's the thing, only about 15 to 20% of the population are real night owls, apparently. And 50% are neither. So the good news in this entire situation is that you can actually train yourself to fix your habits. Okay? So first things first, keep a time journal when you are productive. So when can you study? When's your study best? So like, for instance, for me, at the moment, if I'm studying for the USMLE or studying for exams, what I would do is I'd have a journal and I would write down, okay, in the morning for an hour, I completed 15 questions, for instance. And then in the evening, I just completed 7 questions. So for me, I would say, I guess I'm more productive during the day. And during the afternoon or after I eat, I feel like I'm going through a slump. So maybe that's not the best time to study. Okay, next, I want you to imagine your perfect morning and write it out. Okay, so for me, it would be wake up, do my morning yoga, shower, eat or drink a smoothie, and then start studying for about 2 hours until it's time to go for placement. Okay, everyone's going to have a different answer for that, but write down what is ideal for you if you want to wake up early in the morning. If you've got kids, okay, wake up, get the kids ready for school. If you've got a really early morning job, okay, wake up, get dressed, whatever, going to the job. If you're taking the train, for instance, to commute to work, then you could be like, all right, I want to listen to a podcast or I want to read something during my journey. Okay, now here's the thing that I thought was amazing and worked really well for me. You keep building the time very slowly. So if you currently wake up at 7 a.m. and your end goal is to start waking up at 6 a.m., that jump, the hour jump, and I know it's just an hour, it's not like you're jet lagged and you're pushing back like 5 or 6 hours, but if it's if it's an hour as well, it could be quite jarring. At least for me, it was initially quite difficult. So instead of doing a full hour, start by doing 15 to 20 minutes earlier. So if you currently wake up at 7 and your end goal is to be up by 6 a.m., so you go from 7 to 6:45 or 6:40, and then you keep pushing back. So 6:40, 6:20, 6. And you go about it for about a week or as long as you become comfortable. So it's not like I wouldn't do it like today I'm going to wake up at 6:40 and then tomorrow 6:20. I feel like that's still quite jumpy. That still hasn't given my body enough time to get used to it. So I would do it over the span of a week or 2 weeks until I'm ready to and comfortable waking up around that time without an alarm. Okay. Next, move the alarm away from your bed. So I can't even begin to describe how many times this has saved me, particularly at school. I'm one of those people, like, if I haven't slept enough, and back in the day at school, mum used to wake me up sometimes as well, or like just ensure that I'm up and ready to go out of bed at least. I just want to lay in bed, and usually I'd feel really cold and I just want a cuddle. So if you put your alarm away from your bed, you're forced to get up just to get it to shut up. And that gets you to get up and go. Turning on the lights instantly also works. And have a schedule with something positive to start with. So for some people, it would be like starting with a prayer. It could be like starting with like reading one page. For me personally, it's my morning yoga. Everyone's going to have a different recipe. Everyone's going to have a different positive thing that gets them going. But usually or at least for me, like I feel like if I start with a positive note, the rest of my day will go pretty positively. Okay. Most important thing. Final most important thing. Get enough sleep. I can't stress this out for you. If you get 2 hours of sleep, you're not going to feel fresh the next day. You're going to hate the next day. And especially if you're a person that's used to getting 7 to 8 hours. And I know that sometimes it happens because you have to work late or whatever, but in the long run, there's no point. In the long run, that's actually so bad for your health. So you might as well start from now. If you're used to getting 5 hours, that's not a problem, but just make sure you get the 5 hours. If you're used to getting 7 to 8 hours, make sure you get the 7 to 8 hours because you're going to feel so bad and it's going to affect your performance the next day and it catches up to you. A couple of days later, you're just going to crash. All right, guys, so let me know how that goes. Do you have any more sleep tips that have worked for you? And tag me if you've done any of them on @Hafsa Slayman. And see you next time.